Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video we are taking a look at semiconductors, that is AMD, SMCI, ARM, Broadcom, and Micron. So what about NVIDIA? Well, I already did a video for that right over here, and this video is guys very important if you are interested to know the modeling for the swing and the intraday trade from where the price action is right now, that I'm explaining everything in this particular video. So check it out if you haven't done so. All right. Now coming back over here. So let's take a look at everything, the potential trades, the key levels to watch, the price action that may come on these semiconductors. So we'll start off with AMD. Now, overall structure, what is AMD doing it? Right, in the overall structure, yes, we are still in the negative sentiment. Now 200 days moving average is more like it's a price action area that either attracts or rejects price action. Well, it gives the support as well, everything, right? But it is a sentiment directional change as well. So once we lost it, even after earnings, you can see things went up, but it rejected right underneath of that 200 days moving average, and it continued to falter lower, right? And it continued to come down. Now, so what from here, right? What are we seeing? So we have been seeing this pivot come in, right? And is this pivot strong enough? That's the question. So these two pivots, as we are getting in the intradays at least upside, this is a good sign for the bulls. What is not good for the bulls right now is, I just showed you this, overall still the structure is downside. Buy structure is still to the downside, junior trader, when we are seeing these pivots. These are intraday sort of pivots into the rebounds because we haven't taken out a consolidation of the previous pivot zone. Right over here, you can see we have been still constantly rejecting that area. So definitely AMD would first have to get out and above it as well before we can expect much more continuation to the upside. Definitely keep an eye on 20 days moving average. That will be first time some resistance, and then eventually we'll see if it gets out of it. But from here on, if AMD can continue to stay above 133.75 this intraday rebound can turn into much more upside. But for that, AMD would have to stay above 133.75. That's very important, and definitely a breakout above 136 gives much more push to AMD. Because it has gotten out of those hanging hanging pivots area as well, where it has been rejecting so far. Now if I take you to the hourly interval, and this is the zone where we also have this 200 hours moving average eventually. So it's a combination of two things that we are getting out and above of, and then it opens up the doors to like $141, $145. But just remember, 20 days moving average is the next area we'll have to go through as well, because we are in the phase of this potential upside. Now, when I say potential upside, it's the rebound, but for the rebound to just continue, it needs to continue to break again to the upside, right? Now, this is where we have these pivots, right? And still we have a pivot here. As I said, if we again, as this area, if we start to lose 133.73, there's again weakness that may open up the doors to 130. All right, so that's that. All right, so now let's go to SMCI. So you have the levels in hand, the price action in hands to watch. It's just that very critical level, that hanging pivot area. Just to go back there again for a second, guys, that very red line that I have put here, this is all a deciding factor for AMD around 136.80, whatever, right? SMCI. So SMCI is still negative. It's still in the bearish, it's in a free fall right now. I'm not seeing any upside. We don't even have strong rebounds that shows me that we are able to regain the previous pivot level, which is why 530 in this case, and we are not able to do that as well, right? It's still rejecting underneath of that. So yeah, right now it's not even showing any signs of rebound. It's very weak. And if any rebound would have to come, that will be about 529.57 cents, at least a start of a rebound. Right now, at least on the daily, it's just a downward structure. I'm not seeing any upside in it. And if we lose 477, unfortunately, lot much more to the downside. Now, if I take it to the hourly interval, yeah, it's pretty much that. And if we get above 529 area, then the rebound would be, I would say, first level by level, but yeah, 200 hours moving average, we are still below that. But yeah, I am not seeing any structural change right now, anything to the upside. Significant levels, you can see, still always being rejected into the rebounds, right? Get my tools. If you need access to my tools, links in the description below that marks these levels automatically. All right, that's SMCI. Let's take a look at ARM. So ARM is in a little bit of a different situation here. What do I mean by that? So it's staying above 200 days moving average here, right? It's staying above the trend line. It's above the blue box. Oh, well, not above the blue box yet, but it's consolidating between the blue box and those moving averages. Now, this is where I called out for a couple of days, have been saying this is where you would have to see the price action. And we are seeing a consolidation. Now, the move that I do expect is if we can get out and above of this blue box, at least 120 to 121 area. If ARM can do it, definitely 20 days moving average can, at least that can be retested. So do we have higher pivots? Technically on hourly interval, yes, well, at least in the rebound phase, we do have still these pivots forming. It's still trying to continue in this direction, right? But more upside, guys, is definitely above this 120 to 121 area. But I would want to say let it also get above 200 hours moving average eventually. So yeah, but there's a chance that it can do it. But again, it all comes down to it, as long as it stays now in this zone above this area, not losing these previous pivots. Right, I talked to you guys about $108 back over here, that if we can stay above it, it can at least continue higher from there. And yeah, so it's doing that. It regained itself back up above 108. Now the next level is 121 and above, but it's a good consolidation. Let's see if it can hold this consolidation, right? Because if anytime it falters, loses this trend line, it's gonna be bad again, right? So, and yeah, so let's see if we can break out above 121 and then catch up with 20 days moving average. That's the level to watch. Broadcom. All right, so Broadcom is still knocking on the head of the trend line ceiling down here, over here. But as I said, as we continue to stay above this blue box, 140 and 45 cents is just a bullish structure. This was the next level of 108 and 43. You can see we're staying above that, got to the next level also. Now, yes, it's a good rebound. We have taken out the previous pivot as well, not the pivot prior to that one, but we are in that stage. I would want to see it get above, this level. Next play would be above 150 if we can get above that, by also getting above 20 days moving average as well eventually, right? But if we get out of this trend line, that is a good win already. And getting above 150 is a good win, right? So 156 is the next level. That is a possibility there. Now, Broadcom, is it showing strength? Well, yeah, right now we have higher pivots. So as long as we don't now lose this, and wow, and also we are above 200 hours moving average on the hourly interval. So as long as we now stay above it, get out of this trend line, and not lose this regained pivot that Broadcom has gained, 147 and 148 almost. My indicator has marked this level as well. If we stay above it, good upside. If we lose this, some intraday weakness may again come down to 144. That opens up the door for it. But since we are in the intraday uptrend, give it at least this 50 into the pullback for if it potentially breaks out and above. But it's looking good. Not gonna say it's not looking good, but yeah, if we lose 148 area, then at least intraday weakness can come, and then I don't know if that eventually turns into more weakness. But that's why it's important that we break only to the upside and don't lose this pivot that we have now gotten out and gained as still a higher pivot and making a higher high as well. That's important to stay in this structure. Otherwise, stop loss on the other side, right? Micron. Micron is, this is trying to rebound now, but I'm not too, again, I have said this before as well. I have seen these structures over and over again, and I just don't expect this thing to become bullish like that. I do expect it will have a strong resistance at 101 and 88 cents, this area. Yes, even if the rebound comes, this will just be a rebound into the downtrend. Other semiconductors, as they get out of those levels, they still look strong to me. Micron doesn't. All right. And yeah, so this is the level to watch on Micron. 93 and 59 cents above. 102 is a possibility. Otherwise, no. All right. So yeah, but that would be the rebound. But anytime if we again lose this level, guys, $90, then there's trouble again for Micron. All right, that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, valuable, please hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next videos, guys. Take care. Bye.